Hello? It. All right. What up? What up? What up? Let's see. Real quick. All right. Let's see what we got here today. 15-minute chart. We got a decent level. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna take it out right before. Kind of got both those levels. See what happens. And then we got that level. And then obviously we got pre-market highs. Pre-market highs, which are all-time highs up there. Let's see. All right, there's market open. And we are tanking. Market open, we are tanking. Going down, baby. We going down, baby. Dun, dun, na, 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 na. Wow. Wow. It just blew through those levels like there's no tomorrow. We do have another interesting level. Let's see. Right here. I'd be looking to kind of down there, see what happens. See if we could get to this 640 level would be interesting. We are pushing down with no stoppage. We're bleeding out. We are bleeding out. All right. We have 9:45 news, right? Finviz. Pretty sure I checked yesterday. We have 9:45 news. You have to be careful for 9:45, and then 10:30 is just crude oil or natural gas. I mean. So we have to be careful for that 9:45. What's up? Good morning. No dumb trades today. We'll try. We'll try. We will try. Didn't quite get to that the bottom. We are just bleeding out. Bro. I wanted to take out this. So below this kind of like, we do have a gap there. So this is kind of like the last. I mean, you could see this is really the last form of like liquidity. Below that, we have this just massive gap, and then we have a liquidity all the way down at the 350-ish mark. So this is like kind of the last resort. I mean, last form of liquidity to the downside, and we have a gap below it, so it's pretty interesting to see what happens there. If we can get a sweep of that liquidity and maybe start getting some nice price action. I got in on the top. That's it's a hell of a ride down. That's a scary ride down. But if you caught that, that's nice. That is a good move. Pretty much ever since market opened, we've just been dumping. We haven't even, this is the first green candle since market opened. Oh, it's only been 4 minutes, so. But that was like the first green candle. Let's see what happens here. 9:45 news, so be careful, 9:45. We have news at 9:45. Unless you have puts, then it's beautiful. Yeah. I'm just going based off price action. Seeing if something happens. I mean, there's not even really any shorts to take. You're not gonna short down here, which would be kind of stupid shorting down here, huh? Like, if you already missed this short, if you didn't get in, starting to short down here is kind of dangerous. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Let's see. Let's see. Also, I mean, it's 36. Got like 9 minutes left till news. Man, I don't like when news... Why did they gotta have news at 9:45? What the... Bruh. What's it gonna do? Is it just gonna go sideways now until news comes out? We're gonna have a lot of kind of support down here. So, where's that 200 on the 15 minute? Let me see. Oh, it's bouncing off the 200 too. So we got the 200. We got a major gap right there, right? We got this kind of support, and we got this major gap right here. So there could be some form of a reversal down here. We'll see what happens. Spinning top candle could mean reversal. Yeah, I mean, if it starts even pushing above and holding. Let's see what happens. I really hope it doesn't give a setup right at news, because then it's going to suck trying to buy into news. Not going to be good. So far, it hasn't swept that. I'm hoping, I'm kind of hoping it goes sideways like this till 9:45. It doesn't do anything till 9:45, which is possible. Alright, we like almost tapped into it. It's kind of a double bottom right now. Here, while news comes out, let me see if I can grab my There was a huge wolf spider in my office yesterday afternoon, and I didn't want to kill it, so I tried to capture it in a cup and throw it outside, and it ran away. So now I got a massive spider somewhere inside this office. Ugh. He ran away somewhere under my desk. I have no idea where he is. Just hope he doesn't bite me. Have you ever tried RSI divergence strategy? No, I've never tried it. Never tried it. Be interesting taking a look at though. Man, this like this. I think it's waiting for news. This sell-off is insane. Look at this. Boom. Holy. What's a dip? It's like a sell-off, like when the price action takes a dip, goes down. Not really a dip, more of a sell-off. Kind of misspoke. I mean, it is a dip. A dip buy is usually like a small pullback. All right. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna mark out this gap. We got room till what was it? 73982. So like this. 7 right there. Two minutes left till news. Bruh. Are they really gonna start doing this now while news is about to come out? Definitely a sell until it breaks. Until it breaks what? This 690 level? What's good? What's up? Blew through all key level. Yeah, it just didn't even do anything there, which is fine. I mean, it's just like you don't take a trade. You just don't take a trade. What do we have? News comes out in like 40 seconds, bruh. So this is kind of the last level to sweep. I mean, other than this, the next level is super far down. Yeah, being at break even is fine. It's been a kind of a weird week for me too. Like, last 2 weeks have been really good for me. This week has just been a little bit of my fault, but at least I took some stupid trades with it too, so. I'm kind of, I'm down a little on the week, but I was always taking very light size. That's the good thing, so. When I get a good trade in, I'll be able to make it back, but I've just been taking light sizes. Or that tiny little gap got respected like it was. Is that box a fair value? Yeah, these are fair value gaps. There's a tiny one right there, but it's not a red folder. You think it'll move it? Yeah, when it's not red folder, well, it a lot of times it doesn't really move it much. You just gotta. I still don't really like to be in a trade on news because you never know. Like, you know, sometimes it doesn't move it, sometimes it moves it, you know, a little bit. So I typically just try to stay out of any kind of news, unless it's like nothing at all, like barely, like, what is it, like yellow, very light news. But for sure, red folder. Yeah, you don't want to. The top long candle, a fair value gap too. Yeah, yeah. So you have this all there fair value gap here too. Right here. These are all gaps. There's a lot of gaps to the upside. This is a major gap. So this is a gap. This is a gap, and then you have this tiny little gap right here too. All those are gaps. Let me take a quick scalp if we get above this tiny gap, maybe. We'll see. Starting to get buying pressure coming in. We'll see. We'll see. Whoa. So far, I mean, hey, let me get some. Starting to push out of this major level. Starting to really show some signs of strength, but we're pretty far away from view op. That's a good thing. Kind of interesting to see how this 1 minute candle closes. We got some buying pressure coming in. We swept out liquidity. Now we got some buying pressure stepping in. But sellers are also trying to step in. Good entry to target a 5 minute, but there's none until buy side liquidity. Yeah, they're having sweeping it, but it's having trouble. It's not. It can't even break this tiny little gap. Spinning candle at the bottom. Yeah, this is a good sign right here. This is a pretty good sign, but we can't even get a closure above this gap. It's respecting that tiny little gap pretty good, surprisingly. If it can get through this tiny little gap, and we got room to the top, to the high, but 30 seconds left. See how this candle. Don't leave me. Ugh. You. So let's see. 20 seconds left. Maybe I'll put a limit for it to wick me in if it ends up closing too high above. Try it. See what happens. I'm gonna try to take profit at the top of here. As soon as I buy in, that tiny little gap. Why is my crosshairs gone? Why are my crosshairs gone? Try this small sizing. Oh, what the heck? Try this small size again. We'll see what happens here. Might just be wanting to do a pullback into the 5-minute or the 50% mark. Think so? I mean, if this is a tiny little scalp, if I do, I'm not expecting it to go. Let's go. Just to sweep the internal highs. That's it. That's all I want is the sweep of the internal highs. Push it. Rip it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Just the sweep of those internal highs. We have already taken out a major level. I mean, I don't see at this point, I don't see why it doesn't take me out, my TP. But this is NQ Futures. NASDAQ. Hashtag NASDAQ. There it goes. There it goes. See if we can take out this high. Let's see it. Let's see the high. This is micro. Micro. If I was in 3 minis, it would be crazy. That would be an insane risk for me. There he goes. Come on. Stop toying with me. Really? At my TP. It's MNQ. My chart, well, I have NQ chart pulled up too, but TP. TP. Come on. Just do it already. Why does it do this to me all the time? When it comes to my stop loss, it freaking runs through my stop loss, no problem. But when it comes to my TP, it'll dance around my TP for like 5 minutes before hitting it. Like, what the? Profits only today? Oh, shoot, I have to cancel my order. Flatten everything. Cancel all orders. Profits only today? Only profits. No losses. But when it comes to my stop loss, that crap just runs through it like there's no tomorrow. Doesn't even hesitate at my stop loss. When it comes to my TP, boy, it'll dance around that TP for a good 5 minutes before it takes it out. I don't know why that happens. I need to know if this happens to other people or is just me. Just made 30 bucks. Hey, 30 bucks is not bad. It's good. That's good. Put in the legwork. The only difference, listen, the only difference, you gotta understand this. The only difference between you making 30 bucks and you making $3,000 is contract size. Is the amount of size in your accounts, right? the size of your accounts, how much money you have in your account, how many accounts, if you're using prop firms, how many accounts you have. So it's a skill level. If you can make 30 bucks and do it consistently, over time you'll be able to make $3,000 consistently. If, you know, it's the same thing, same strategy, just different size. Make 600 on a funded. Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. 600 is good too. It was only $120 contract. Hey, it's still, as long as it's a W, as long as you followed your plan. If you had a plan, you followed your plan, that's a dub. Even if you make money but you had no plan whatsoever, that's, in my book, that's not a W. Like some previous days where I was taking, right, I had these major levels. Like yesterday was a good example. I had major levels set, and I took like an internal little sweep of liquidity with small size, and I got stopped out. Even if I would have made money on that trade, looking back, it would have been a dumb trade because it wasn't according to my plan. This kind of trade, according to my plan, I had a plan, right? Ended up taking the trade, made my money. It's a W all day. Watch this be the bottom of the day. Watch this be the complete bottom. If this is the complete bottom, I gotta start learning how to take partials. So with this next one, will you wait until it goes past the next blue line? No, these blue lines already are invalidated. They're already invalidated. When price just dumps through those blue lines and doesn't, like, just goes through them, they invalidate automatically. In my book, it respected this one. See how it respected it, and now we started getting prices to start go back up. That's a good. But if this would have just kept dumping and ended up closing like way down here, at that point it just disrespected it and it becomes invalidated. When the risk, you can look at it this way too. When it dumps down and the risk becomes greater than the reward, it invalidates it because it's not worth taking the trade anymore. Even if there's a setup, but the risk is crazy and the profit target is kind of low, it's not even worth taking that trade. Unless you take it on small size and have like a profit, you know, a 1-to-1. But I don't like having just 1-to-1 I don't like having profit targets just because it's a 1-to-1 or just because it's a 1-to-2 or whatever. Like, I want to take, like, taking this trade, right? I took profits at the internal sweep of liquidity, which makes sense that price could reverse here. It could take out this liquidity and then it could dump back down. So that's why I took profit there. Stop loss below the lows. So my TP and stop loss makes sense. So, but I don't like putting, like, just because it's a 1-to-1, you know, putting it at an area where it doesn't even make sense, but you're putting it there just because of the risk, just because it's a 1-to-1 there, doesn't make sense to do, because you want to trade the chart, not your, you know, not the ratio, profit ratio, or money wise. I've been full-time trading, I guess. I don't know if you consider I guess consider full-time trading for 2 years. Pretty much every single day. Now, when I say full-time, I mean like an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. I mean like market, New York Open. I've been trading full-time for 2 years. In my opinion, I don't think anybody should sit on the charts all day. Like, I don't think it's good to sit on the charts all day. You going long? I already went long. I took profits. I went long at the close of this candle. I went long right there. And then I took profits at the highs. So, I'm out of the trade now. It's a 5-minute bullish SMT with what? With ES? Yeah, I could see this ripping up still higher. I mean, I know there are people trying to take longs right now, which is not bad. Hey, that's not like taking. I know some people that do that. They like wait for an inverse, and then like for inverse to get disrespected, and then they kind of take the next, like this right here, this fair value gap, they'll take a long off that fair value gap, which I don't know. I don't like to do that. You're pretty much taking a long, like right now you'd be taking a long where I went long and I already took profit, and it's kind of like, I don't know. We could have a next leg up, but we could also, it kind of disrespected this fair value gap right here. It closed above it, and now it's closing below it. So it just kind of disrespected it, and then closing below it's also not a good sign. But we do have a gap right there that kind of can hold. So I'm gonna enter on NQ. I mean, you could enter as long as the risk to reward makes sense, you know? Like, you don't really want to enter just to take profits at this high and then have a stop loss way down here. But if the risk to reward makes sense, like if it's your strategy and this is what you typically do, it's not a bad entry. It's like, I could see why someone would enter there, you know? Entering off this gap right here, and then potentially, the only thing is you got this big gap right here, you got to be careful. It did tap into it, but me personally, like, keep in mind, right? Where's that? So at the 727 level, there's gonna be a lot of resistance at that 727 level. So, what the heck happened to my crosshairs? So like around this area right here is the view op, and you got the gap there, and you got the 200, and you got a pivot point. So understand that price is going to have a hard time getting through all these levels. View op, pivot point, gap, 200, all this stuff is going to have a very hard time. So what I mean is, like, it could dance around here sideways before it continues going up. I highly doubt it's just going to rip up and just keep going up, up, up through those. It's possible, but I doubt that. RSI indicator? I don't know if I could do RSI on see, if I had OBS like I have on YouTube, I would be able to do all that. I just can't. Let me see. Let me try. Yeah, I don't know how. Cause futures is a little different than what I have on my. I could bring it up on my other chart, but it's not gonna show it on TikTok. It's only gonna show it on YouTube. I'm in a little bit of a bind because TikTok doesn't have live studio for Mac. So like my main PC that I would want to use it on, I would be able to do so much more. I can't do it. I tried to use a third party and TikTok like banned me off the third party. They didn't let me do it. So starting to form a bull flag here. I'm done for the day. See you tomorrow. Yeah, it's not a bad time. If you don't see any more trades that you're gonna probably take, it's good to call it a day. And that's why I said, but yeah, see you tomorrow. And that's why I said, like, that's kind of our last line of defense. Like, honestly, like, if you look on the 15-minute time frame, right? Let me kind of try to bring it in a little bit. So, like, this line that I have drawn right here. Let me see if you make sure you see it. All right. So this line I have drawn right here, right, was like our last line of defense for bulls to step in. If they wouldn't have stepped in right here, we do have a major gap, but like as far in terms of like a liquidity, like a sweep of a low, the next low is all the way down there. Like it's super far down there. So if you don't see any more like setups, like I don't really see any more setups for a while in terms of a major level. Like you see all the major levels I had marked out just got blown through. This last one ended up getting respected. And then we do have one up here for like a short possibly, and another one for like all time, but It's not a good idea to short all-time highs up here. So that's kind of not even a viable option. Let me see. Where's your SMA? I don't have a SMA, I have an EMA. This is the 200 EMA right here. This gold line right here is the 200 EMA. And then also, if you look on right, it had the 200 EMA as support on the 15-minute right there. So the fact that this line marked out perfectly with that 200 EMA on the 15-minute also was another like a extra level. Like, I don't take trades off of it, but when it aligns with my level like that, it just gives me like an extra level of confidence in terms of maybe contract size, or you know, maybe going a little bit heavier if I have multiple confluences there and it shows me strength. That's kind of how I use these like indicators. I don't use them as like entry points. I use them as like extra levels of confirmation or gauges to understand like resistances. And see, we're having trouble getting through that. See, I wouldn't want to be stuck in this right now, like this sideways action. Boom, it took me out, now it's going sideways. That's what I like to see. I don't like it going sideways before it takes me out. Gives me all that anxiety sitting in a trade going sideways. Here's that next leg up, possibly. What's your thoughts on ICT 22? I've never watched ICT. I never watched it. I mean, the concepts do work. I'll say that. Did you catch the long? Yeah, I did. I went long. Once we swept this low right here, and we kind of inversed this gap, I went long for these highs right here. I literally got out at the top of this move. My exit was right there at the top. It was a little like, honestly, I don't like taking these tiny gaps, but, you know, I'll usually, like, it just aligned perfectly also with that 200 on the 15-minute time frame. So, like, I would take it. If it's off a major level like this, and the fact that we started respecting it, right? Typically, these tiny little gaps, sometimes they fail because they're tiny. They don't hold as much weight as, like, a bigger gap like this, as you see. But like, you saw, like, I saw that we came up and we respected that gap. See this 1 minute candle right here? We came up, we respected it, we came up, and every time we kind of came up to that gap, look at the selling pressure that steps in. Look how many times we started to respect it. And then finally we broke through it, and I'm like, all right, I'll take this. Because now that we broke through it, see, the kind of the theory also is respecting it this many times and then breaking through it heavily. Now that has to hold as support. That becomes like a support level, kind of like. So you saw when we broke through it, right? We got a pullback, held it as support, and then we started continuing back up. Which shows me that although it's a small gap, it's getting respected pretty good. So when we break through it, it holds it as support and then go back up. You long or short? I went long. I already took profits. I went long at the sweep of this major level, inverted the gap, and I took longs at the highs right here. Took a TP at the high. But as of now, I mean, I don't see, like, there's not really any entries, like, in terms of, like, a good level. Now, you could take these, like, internal kind of sweeps, but I like to stay out of them because I get burned too many times. These internal liquidities is not really good to take. They don't hold that much weight versus a major level holds a lot of weight. So it's just an extra, you know. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, having a lot of trouble here. We do have view op. I honestly, at this point, I don't know. It's having 720s breaker block. Yeah, I mean, it's not really my strategy, but yeah, I could see why. But you have the view op and the two. The one thing you got to be careful with that is you got the view op right there, and then you have the 200, and then you have a pivot point. Like, you got a lot of resistance right there. So trying to like catch a long into all that resistance is a little bit. Not saying it won't work, but I'm saying is expect a lot of choppiness in this area right here. That's all I'm saying. If it does, like, and we got a gap right there. I don't like the hold for long-term highs. Like, too much resistance to be I think to be holding into that. Look at that. I love that. I freaking love when that happens. It takes me out, gets me out of the trade, and then takes a dump back down. Look at that. Talk about a perfect exit. Holy, this is why you have to have your TP set. Look at that. It went like 12 points higher than my TP and then dumped. Now it's really not looking good for the bulls. How much do you make a month? What do you mean? Like trading? I mean, trading isn't my, like, I have a business. I buy and sell cars. I trade for fun. I don't do this as like a full-time income. Even if I was to make, like, to be honest with you, like, even if I was to make like 50K a month from trading, I wouldn't, my life wouldn't really change. I would still do the job I do. Like, I wouldn't. When I see those videos of like people like, I traded today and now I'm gonna go chill at the beach, I'm gonna go golf, I'm like, what? Like, it's not. Trading is not this. Hey, and this is my eyes only, right? This is just my opinion, but I don't think trading should be where you make money trading to not have to do anything, to kind of maybe like in a sense of like retire early. But trading shouldn't be a thing where you're making money doing it and then you don't have to do anything for the rest of the day. Trust me when I say that, that's not what you want. It sounds fun in your head. It sounds cool. Like you could trade for a couple hours and then you could just go chill all day, go to the beach, go relax. Like, sounds cool, but trust me when I say that, it's not. Like, trading in my eyes is something that should give you the freedom to be able to do something else that you love, meaning like a job, right? Some people, it's maybe like fixing cars, starting a business, or something else that keeps you productive to where you have goals, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, trading gives you the freedom to work a job that you love to do, that you wake up and you want to go work. And you should always have goals. You should never be, in my opinion, you should never go through life just like being like, oh, I'm just I make money trading and then all I do is relax for the rest of the day. I don't think you should do that. I think you should have goals, right? It gives you the freedom to be able to do like a job that you love to do, that gives you goals, that you're able to accomplish goals and keep growing in life. Never just be constant like this, doing nothing with your life. I don't think that's like, you may enjoy that for like a week, kind of like a vacation type of thing. But trust me when I say this, you're going to get like, it's going to be depressing not having any goals, not having any. You got to think about it. There's a reason it just came out actually today. I think today I saw it on the news in the morning. He just hit $400 billion. Think about that. He's worth $400 billion and he works harder than probably 90% of people. He works like 18 hours a day. So think to yourself, why does somebody like Elon Musk, who has $400 billion, still work 18-hour days? Because he has goals to set. The goal isn't to retire and do nothing with your life. The goal is to be able to work a job, and he's able to work 18 hours a day, even he's worth so much money because right? He loves what he's doing. That's why he's able to do it. That's why he continues to do it. He doesn't want to relax on a beach and do nothing. Like, he would get depressed doing that probably. But yeah, a little bit of a ramble. But that's my theory of, like, I start to laugh when I see like these like trading influencers. Like 90% of them show this lifestyle of like doing nothing. Like, I just trade for a couple hours and then I go relax, right? I don't think that's a good thing in my eyes. How long did it take you to become profitable? A while. It depends what you count. Like, see, like I've been trading for 2 years, kind of full time every day kind of deal. But before those 2 years, I was learning about trading for like a while, because I kind of got there was a point where I got like obsessed with trading, and I kind of was always looking into trading, and I was learning about it. But I never thought I would like do it how I'm doing it now. So that's kind of a gray area. I can't really say how long it took, but typically for most people, it takes at least a couple years to become profitable, because you go through 3 stages. When you're learning how to trade, you go through 3 stages. Your first stage in learning how to trade, and every single person goes through these stages, right? Every person will go through these stages. First stage you go through when you're learning how to trade is you go from losing money, right? Whether it's losing a lot of money, a little bit of money. Maybe some people are smarter and they start with a simulated account, so they barely lose any money, but everyone loses some kind of money in trading. And then you go from losing money to being a break-even trader, right? So now you have a strategy. Now you're able to, keep doing that strategy, and maybe like you're break-even. You're making money, you're losing money, but you're at this kind of like break-even stage, which is not a bad stage to be in. Being break-even, you're already better than 90% of traders. And then you kind of go from break even, you make some tweaks, you learn. This is why looking at the charts every day is important. Like, actually watching price action is important. Actually looking at the trades you take and learning from your trades. Oh, if you take a losing trade, what could I have done better? And trying to improve. And then you go from that break even stage, you're starting to make some tweaks, maybe take, smaller losses, try to hold your winners to a certain place. And then you go to making a little bit of money, and you just keep growing that way. And then once you kind of start making even a little bit of money, the difference is just increasing contract size if you want to make more money, right? So appreciate the likes. Thank you. I had the perfect freaking exit. Holy. I would be honestly kind of pissed if I was still in this trade. This would be making me mad. Would I have gotten out? Let me see, actually. If I would still... where's my entry? No, I wouldn't have. So for me, like, if I was still in this trade... Look at that. Look at that risk. Look how it respected it. This is why I ended up taking the trade. Even though it was a tiny gap. Look at the respect off that gap. Respected it here. Broke it. Look when it came down and it just wicked into it and then bounced right off. But for me, an invalidation of this trade, it's going to start looking real ugly if we start inverting this gap. If price inverts this gap back down, I mean, I think we're going for the lows. So if hypothetically I was still in this trade, if it would invert this, I would end up getting out. I wouldn't wait for stop loss to hit at the lows, because most likely it's going to go for those lows. If it inverts this gap, in my eyes, there is a few gaps it could bounce off of, but in my eyes, most likely it'll go for those lows. Again, do you trade support and resistance? I guess kind of. Yeah. You could say that. I take my entries off of major levels. So like in the morning, right? I'll give you an example of how. So in the morning, these lines you see marked out on my chart, these lines, I marked these out like right when market open or right before market open. So these lines were all marked out as areas of interest for price. So when price opened up here at 9:30, It just kept dumping. I was looking at this level to see what was going to happen. Dumped through it. Okay, I was like, all right, next level is this level. Okay, dumped through it. And then my last final level of area of interest was this level. And then it's actually finally started showing strengths off of that level. And then I took a long off that level. And then I have criteria, but like 15-minute chart level, right? Because I understand that this level is a big level right here. We had a major move after that level. Kind of it pulled back and then made a crazy move, right? So same thing with kind of this level. You see how it bounced and then it made a big move. So now that is an area of interest of potential. When it pulls back, a lot of people start stepping in again because there was a lot of buying pressure here. So the theory is when it comes back, a lot of buyers could try to step in there. And then that's kind of how I mark out my levels on the 15-minute. And then I go to the 1 minute for confirmation, right? So when it swept that level, you see buyers started stepping in aggressively. And then I saw that this gap, even though I really don't like taking trades off of tiny gaps, I saw this gap start to get respected. And then once it broke it, I was getting interested in it. I took a long at the close of the break of the gap, ended up retesting it, and then it went for those highs. And my TP, my profit target, was at this internal liquidity because I understood that we could sweep this high and then we could dump back down. It's exactly what it's doing. It's sweeping it and then dumping back down. And I did not want to be caught in that, so I took profits at the highs. What's the first step to start trading? First step to start trading is becoming obsessed with it. Honestly, trading is the type of thing where you kind of have to be obsessed with it to get good at it. Like, almost, like, you know, trying to watch videos of different strategies, just figuring out what you like to do, because how I take trades may not be how you want to take trades. Maybe you want to be a swing trader, maybe you want to take long-term holds, maybe you want to, you know, there's so many different, everyone trades a little bit differently. I don't think anybody really trades the same, right? Although we all kind of trade similar strategies, maybe a lot of us, like, they're all kind of tweaked to our liking, right? I watched the market when Powell was talking yesterday and total volatile. Yeah, it's crazy. It's honestly pretty interesting to watch when Powell talks and how market moves. You can lose a lot of freaking money. You can really get screwed over. I don't think people should trade, especially with prop firms. It's not good because of slippage. Slippage is what can really destroy you in terms of, like, even if you're looking for a payout, slippage can mess you up with a payout. You can break a rule because of slippage, like the 30% rule, where, like, you know, 30% of profit target, like 30% can't be in one day. There's that rule. Like, slippage can really mess you up with a stop loss, right? Especially if you're going heavy in size, and even if you have your stop loss at the lows and price just freaking tanks, wicks you out at the very bottom, and you end up losing 3 times more money than you were risking, even though you had a stop loss. So I don't personally, I don't trade during, I don't even go on the charts during Powell. I know a lot of people like to do it because it's kind of fun. If I was to trade during Powell, I would get just fun accounts. I would not do it on anything like serious accounts I have. Do you have a dog? Yeah, I mean, it's not really, I do have a dog. It's a tiny dog. It's a Chihuahua. It's not all my dog. I'm not, like, you know, there's other people that look after it too. So I've always had a dog my whole life. We've always had dogs. She is the most sensitive dog I've ever. She's very sensitive. Very, like, it's crazy. My Chihuahuas are honestly good dogs. Not the, like, and she's not annoying. She's not, like, but she's very freaking, like, honestly, all the times I've had dogs my whole life, I've had a dog. Never in my life have I ever seen a dog this sensitive. One time, this is how sensitive she is. So like the couches, I have couches inside my house that, you know how you have those like reclining couches where you pull the handle and the foot thing comes out? So I have those couches at my house. One time I didn't even know she's gonna get scared from this, but I pulled the handle and I let the handle snap. So I pulled it and I let go, and you know, it makes that snapping sound of the handle snapping back into place. I did that once. That noise scared her. She was sitting there, that noise scared her. Ever since, it's been years already. Ever since, I can't even pull the couch out with her there, because every time I put my hand on the handle, she runs away in the room and she hides. That's how freaking scared. So I can't pull the couch out if she's there. Or she'll immediately, she sees my hand going for that handle and she runs to the other room. It's, but it is what it is. Alright, this is starting to look ugly for the bulls. At this point, be careful. I think it's going for the lows. This is a pretty, like I said, remember I said if it closes below this gap, it's probably going to go for those lows. There it is. So most likely, I think we're going to take out these lows again. Go in for a short. Oh, heck no. I don't like, there's no major levels for shorts. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, you could have taken a short. Like, theoretically, there is a short here if you're like, but again, this is a short off of like not a major level, right? So I just, like you saw yesterday, I got burned yesterday for trying to do this. I tried to do this yesterday, right? So like you trying to take a short off an area like this, like a sweeps an internal level and then inverses a gap for the lows. Now hindsight, like sometimes these trades do work out pretty decently, but I've gotten burned so many times that I just try to stick to these major levels. I don't know, that's how I do it. Like in hindsight, this trade worked out amazingly, but I like to stick to bigger levels. And that's why I took TP there, because I knew it could do that, where it could sweep it and then it could start dumping down. Swing low, it's breaking structure. Yeah, so like right now, it broke this. See how it was respecting this? The fact that it broke it, now, not to say it can't go back up, but now what you'll see is, right, the fact that price broke it and it's pushing back into it, this is going to hold now as resistance, right? So it's going to act as a pretty big resistance level. That's exactly what you see, right? It tapped into it and now we're starting to get a pullback again. So that's kind of the theory. Think about it this way. Previous support, previous areas of resistance act as new support. Previous areas of support act as resistance, meaning when you break through it, right? And you see it right here. You see this time and time again. This massive candle broke this low, right? So what price did was it came back to test this area and then dump back down. So now price broke this low that it was respecting. Price broke it. Now it's coming back to retest it as resistance to possibly continue moving down. And then if we get like a strong close, it can go for maybe this to sweep it to go back lower, or I can, but the theory, like if someone was looking for a long, right? Until it kind of breaks this high right here and shows strength above, view op above, and maybe get a pullback into it to act as support, that's going to be considered a long. Like as of right now, it's not really showing any signs of longs. Even like we've swept a major level now. Now it's just like going to be sideways action until we get any kind of directional move. Previous day high? Think it's going to hit previous day pre-market high? We got highs. Well, pre-market high is going to be all-time high. I marked it out. I marked it out on the 15-minute chart. Those are all right here. These are all-time highs right here, which is also pre-market high. I don't know. I hope it gets away from pre-market. I don't like all-time highs. I really don't, because there's nothing to go off of. It's just right when there's no struggle. Like, I'm not gonna short all-time highs. I'm not gonna long off of all-time highs either, because. So I hope we get away from all-time highs. I mean, it could go up there as long as it doesn't go there tomorrow. I don't want it to be there tomorrow. Yesterday's daily candle high. Let me see. Still gotta figure out how to do. Let me look on it real quick. Yesterday's. Oh dang! Well, yesterday's daily candle high is gonna be the news. What the heck happened at 4 o'clock? Holy. Bruh. Whoa. That's that 4 o'clock candle is yesterday's high. I didn't even realize. What the heck happened? Oh, I'm already on the 15-minute. Where's yesterday's? Bruh. Where is it? 12? Oh, well, this is the 15-minute. That's why. Look what happened yesterday. What the? Right at power hour. Last hour of the day, it just took off. And then yesterday right there. So this is what you're talking about. We have. Wait. I don't like this. I don't like how the time frames are. Let me go to the 1 minute. It's confusing me that this chart is the time frames, because I can't even. Yeah, so this right here. So this is going to be all time yesterday's. I gotta learn how to put lines in for pre-market, and like, it's hard to find it when you don't have. But it's gonna be this leg up was yesterday's high right there. So that. What is that? That's like the. Pretty much. Yeah. 690 level. So that's 690 level. I mean, it definitely is a pretty big level. Let me see, 690. I don't know what happened to my crosshairs. How do I get crosshairs back? Oh, there it is. Crosshair. Local. There it is. So much easier with the crosshairs. Alright. Yeah, the 690 level. I mean, I don't know. It's not really an area of. I mean, I kind of used it as like a. I wouldn't use it as like a. I mean, it kind of. Yeah, when it already pushed through that area like that, in my eyes, it just gets disrespected until it, like... There we go. Told you. Careful, if we get a close below, it's not gonna look good. We're about to take out the lows. Oh, man! Oh, you're saying, oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying look at the reaction off it. So we did, yeah, you're right. We did, if you look on the 15-minute chart, it is a major level of support, but also, like, you could see it kind of, price came back and kind of tapped in. But I think this area was a big, like, this previous, and see these, like, lines right here act as, I had this line set as a major level. So the way I look for major levels is reactions off it, right? So, like, see how this level, right? We had a pullback, and then we had this massive leg up after that pullback. So that's why I kind of marked this out at a major level. So now that we kind of broke through that major level, right? We came back up, and we retested that major level. It retested it as resistance, right? Before it used to be support. Now it broke through it, retested it as resistance, and now we're moving back down. Ow. Should mark those levels? Like, you're talking about, like, the previous day high levels? I mean, yeah. I just don't like when price already, like, if price breaks through it, to me, I don't even like to look at it anymore. I mean, it is a big level for sure. It is a big, if we're above it, it's a big level for a support, right? So, like, previous day's high would be a big support level. What's this chart for? It's NASDAQ, NQ futures. We're analyzing. It's also a draw. Yeah, I mean, that's true too. Yeah. I know some people use, like, areas as draws of liquidity, but you can see, look how big of a level. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big level down here. You can see all this support. Look at all this support. Man, it's hard to, I have the vertical, so it's kind of hard to show you, but look, if you look on the, I'm gonna try to zoom in. It's gonna look a little messy, but look at this, watch. I don't know if there's more data. Hold on. You could see, right? When price started to pull back, you can tell that, and this was kind of a bounce area for me. You could tell that this is going to be a lot of support down here. A lot. And we have the 200, and we have a kind of a major level and a major support level. Just so much things are paired for a lot of buying pressure to step in. Oh, okay. So it's good when you pair it. Yeah, I mean, it's good when these levels get paired with other levels that you have. Like that, this kind of a level gets paired with another level, gets paired with a possible, you know, an indicator there. That's, and it get every, like, extra, it gives you an extra level of confirmation that there's gonna be. But yeah, that's true. That's, I mean, it is definitely a good area to keep an eye out on. All right, we just swept a low. What's the rectangles you marked? Those are gaps. So this rectangle is the trade I took. It's a little extended, too extended, but this is the trade I took, the gap. We swept I had a major level marked out on a 15-minute. We swept the major level on the 15-minute. Shows that price was reacting off this tiny gap. We inversed that gap. I took a long for the internal highs. I took profit at these internal highs, and now you see what happened after I took profit. Are we thinking it could go back to London highs? There's definitely a lot of support down here. It's gonna have, I definitely think it could, right? We have a huge gap. I mean, it's got a lot of, it's got an easier time to go to London highs, in my opinion, than keep going lower. I mean, you see we got a gap. We got this gap here. We got another major resistance, support, I mean, at 590s. There's another pretty big support level. That 590 level. And you see this right here. This is going to be a pretty big support level. And you see how all these gaps here. So it could. Definitely could. Now, when? I don't know when it's going to. Is it going to sweep this and go up, or is it going to keep dumping? It's not a major level, so that's why I kind of don't want. I mean, it could sweep an inverse right here, right? Kind of sweep and inverse that gap, but to me, that's not a major level, so I wouldn't really want to take this long for these highs. Starting to kind of keep getting here. Give me a second. I'll be back. All right, what I was gonna say, right? I was gonna say this. See, price is not really showing signs that it wants to keep going up. It keeps, right? Every time it breaks a low, it retests it as a resistance, right? It breaks a low, retest it as a resistance. It breaks a low, retest it as resistance. Until we get like a structure change, I wouldn't. I mean, it's not confirming. A confirmation high would be, right? Would be now if it breaks out of this, starts closing above, comes back down, taps into it to go higher. Like shows that it's the structure is changing of the right? So if price kind of goes back up here, closes up here, and kind of pulls back to maybe retest this as support to go higher. That's maybe like interesting. I wouldn't take it. I'm trying to really stick to taking trades only off major levels. I don't know. I don't want to just give away money. That's the problem. I'd rather take trades that are higher probability. So it's gonna have some trouble here. How much do I have? I have 51,007. I need 2 more grand to pass these accounts. Dun, 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 dun. So it's retesting this again. I mean, it's kind of... It's not really much to go off of now until it starts changing structure. Going for the lows again? Are you gonna take out the lows again? There's a pivot point right there. What is this pivot point aligned with? Let's see. Maybe it bounces off the pivot? Could bounce off the pivot. Will we get a big bounce? Pivot point incoming. And you can see this trend line forming too, right? Look at this trend line. I used to try to trade trend lines. In the beginning, when I started learning how to trade, I would trade trend lines. It didn't work for me. It's too, I don't know. It's too discretionary. But prices kind of, what I used to try to do is this is what I used to try to do. It didn't work out, so don't try it. I would try like breakouts. I would kind of see a trend line forming, and when price would kind of break out of it, I would try to take a long for the highs, but the problem is it's too discretionary. Like, your brain wants to draw trend lines where it's not, you know. Like, somebody could have drawn this trend line, right? Somebody could have solved these two taps, and they could have been like, oh, look, a trend line. Right? And they could have bought a break out of this and then just get dumped on. That's what used to happen to me. So I stopped trading trend lines. It's interesting to see. I mean, it's another level of, like, when you see a big trend line forming. But I don't like to trade them. They're too discretionary. I like to trade price action. Price confirms is doing something. Invest in STLA. Is that crypto? I took all my money out of crypto. I actually made... Bruh. I actually made some decent money on crypto. And I took my money out of crypto and I don't have anything anymore in crypto. I don't know, it's just... I'm gonna stick to futures for now. Because crypto's low-key mid. I mean, if I was to do it, I wouldn't do how I'm trading futures. I would do it like as a long term. I would buy like more reputable cryptos just to hold long term. But I don't know about day trading. Is that even like a thing? Do people really day trade crypto? I feel like it's too volatile. I feel like it's too unregulated. It's too, like, a lot of things can happen where futures is very regulated, so you're not gonna get like these crazy pump and dumps, right? It's like, it's low volatility. Oh yeah, the movement on it is probably not as good as like you see NQ how it moves. Like NQ, this is what I like about NASDAQ and ES. Pepsi? I prefer Pepsi. NQ and ES, it just moves so much smoother. Like, right? You get a break of a low, retest, break of a low, retest, break of a low, retest, break of a high, retest. Like, it just moves. It takes out a high, inverses a gap. Like, it just moves very, like, it's like a wave. It moves very smoothly. Most of the time. Sometimes not, but I feel like crypto is just like all over the place, kind of like anything can happen. Especially with like the meme coins. Bitcoin has really? Bitcoin has futures? I mean, I don't really see videos. Maybe it's just my algorithm. I don't see videos of people trading, like day trading, like crypto. I think it's because like futures got super popular because of this prop firm route. Ever since prop firms became a thing, futures blew up. Like, it's gotten crazy. When I used to trade options, futures wasn't really that popular. And then you started to get prop firms come out, and now you can buy an account for, you know, 30 something bucks and get into and actually start getting payouts, and it becomes very like, a lot of people get into it for the low barrier to entry. Versus if you wanted to trade a live account or something, you have to put, you know, thousands of dollars into a live account, and then you'll probably lose it if you're learning how to trade. But with futures, prop firm route, 30 something bucks, some of them have very low barriers to entry, and you can learn, and you don't lose a lot of money. And when you're learning, you're going to lose money. So it's not a matter of if you're going to lose money, it's how much you're going to lose. Let me tell you this. When I was learning, I lost a lot of money. Learn from my mistakes. Oh, Coinbase. That's what I use. I use Coinbase. But they're not really a day trading platform. That's the thing. Do they have a platform where you can like Ninja Trader, right? The platform I'm using to place trades on futures, right? It's a day trading platform. Like, I can take day trades on it. It's very simple to take trades off of, very simple to mark out your levels. But like, I don't know if they have like something like this where you can actually, maybe they do, I don't know. I've never really looked into it, so maybe they do. See, it keeps respecting. Breaks a low, holds it, breaks a low, holds it. Like, where are we on the 15-minute chart? We're getting a pullback. Starting to, I don't know, it's got a lot of room to the downside also. What's the future on XRP? I don't even know. Crypto's too crazy for me. I can't even bring it up on here. I don't even know my login anymore to Coinbase and stuff. I had a YubiKey for Coinbase. If I don't have that key, I will never be able to get into my. If you don't know what a YubiKey is, it's pretty cool. So when you have an account that's like very, if you have a lot of money in an account and you don't want it to get hacked, you can buy what's called a YubiKey, but you got to be careful because if you lose that key, you're screwed. So it's like a key that you put in. It's a level of privacy. So I guess it's coded to like, it's very like, it's nearly impossible to hack into it. So it's like you put it in and you fingerprint. So I would put it in my USB on my computer, and it has a fingerprint thing, and it has a password, so it recognizes your fingerprint, and it puts this like insanely long password in, and it opens it up. But it's good to have if you have an account that's like very, like, say you have a lot of money. People use it for bank accounts, right? If you have a bank account with like a lot of money in it, that's what I would use. I would use a YubiKey for like, it's a second level of like authentication. Like when like banks send you a one-time passcode, it's kind of like that, but it's just extra like private. It's very hard. Like I don't know if it's impossible, but I feel like it's nearly impossible to get hacked if you have a YubiKey password. But all right, we're starting to keep dumping. Are we gonna dump for the rest of the day? Ever since market opened, we've had two 15-minute candles print green. The rest of them straight bloodbath. Oh, Ninja Trader has Bitcoin futures. Oh, that's true actually. Ninja Trader does have. It has crypto. Here it is. Bitcoin. All right, I'll pull up the chart. Hold on. Bitcoin, Ethereum, USD, Ethereum, Euro, Bitcoin, USD. All right, Bitcoin. I better not forget to change the chart. I've done that before. I forgot to change the chart, and I'm starting to trade. I'm like, why does this look so weird? All right, hold on. There it is. There's Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Let me look at the 15-minute chart. Let's see if it actually respects. So market opened. Let me see. 9:30. Where is 9:30 open? Right. This first red candle is the 9:30. So it kind of had the levels hold too on the Bitcoin. So like I'm looking at like what levels would I have marked out and what trades would I have taken. Sorry. So market open, this would definitely be for me a level of interest that I would mark out on a chart. So like this level right here, market opened, we're 9:30, and then we got a reaction off that level. Let's see what happens. If I drop down to the 1-minute chart, I should be able to see if I would have got an entry. All right, so there's that level. Yeah, it would have to be, we got a gap, right here. But the only thing is, I hate, like you do get an entry, but I hate when price does that. When price closes way up, like if I'm trying to get enter, like for it to close kind of above the gap, when it closes way above the gap like that, I typically will try to like wait for a pullback to try to buy somewhere down here, and you never get the pullback. But yeah, you do get an entry for sure. Like look at that, entered, inverse this gap, and then it went for those highs. It took out the highs, and now it's dumping back down. So I just don't know how the point system works, right? You see how the points, like your risk is way different. I'll stick to futures. Oh, it's not micro? Yeah, so you'd have to see the risk. I don't know how the risk works with it. Like contract-wise. Okay, if it's not... Hold on, so if it's not contract, so is one contract worth... Like, how much does it take to get into... Like 10 points or however it is. I don't know. I don't. This is probably crazy vault, like crazy. Like you take one contract and you're what? You're gonna be down like thousands of dollars in like a second. Do they have? Do they have micros for Bitcoin? You know, micros are a fairly new thing. With futures didn't used to have micros. When did micros come out for futures? I'll tell you right now. It's a fairly new thing that they even did for futures. When did futures come out with the micro contract? So the CME Group launched micro E-mini future contracts on May 6, 2019. These contracts were introduced for 4 major indices: the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, Russell 2000, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So in 2019, the CME came out with micros in 2019. That's fairly new. That's like, that was during COVID, right? So it's a pretty new thing. And I think that's when really like futures kind of started. Futures, that was a big blow up in futures too. Futures got extra. Prop firms were one thing, and then prop firms paired with, I mean, you can get into micros. You can even fund a live account. Like if you know how to trade, if you wanted to fund a live account, you can actually fund a live account and just trade micros. Like, you can have $1,000 live account and trade micros and make money. And then the only thing is like, cool thing about a live account when you know how to trade, with prop firms, you have to follow all these rules and to get payouts and submit a request and this. But when you have a live, when you know how to trade and you've proven yourself how to trade and you eventually go to a live account, you could take withdrawals, I think, every day if you want. But I think I'll just stick to the scalability, though. The scalability with futures like prop firms, you can't compare. Like, can you imagine me trading, like, I have, what, say 10 funded accounts? Can you imagine trading 10 funded accounts and being able to risk, say you risk $100 per account, being able to risk $1,000 per trade? You have to have an account, like for a live account, your account has to be like, shoot, like over 10 grand probably to be able to risk $1,000 per trade. So like the scalability is pretty crazy with prop firms. It's just the payouts that kind of sometimes suck, to be able to like submit a payout. If you break a rule, you have to keep trading. But it's just something you have to deal with if you want to. Hold on, one tick, $25? One tick, $25. Oh wow. Yeah, it's more than. How many? Hold on, how many? I know a point is 10. How many ticks? Is there 4 ticks in a point? I think it's 4. Okay. Yeah, about 4 to... I never go by ticks. I don't know why some people go by ticks. Some people are like, I caught 100 tick move. Like, why would you say that? A 100 tick move would be crazy. But I go by points. It's easy. 10 points. You see, I have my bars set in place for points. So I know every box is 10 points. $20 risk. Quick addition, multiplication, and you figure out your risk really easily. Shouldn't you know this? Well, I don't go by ticks. That's the thing. That's why I have a hard... I never go by ticks. Nobody goes by ticks. Everyone goes by points. You say, I caught 20 points, right? It's very simple to understand. If you caught 20 points, right? 90, you go from 590s to the 600 to the 610s, right? From 590 to 610 would be a 20-point move. Simple. Short would have been clutch, dude. That internal, where I took profits. I mean, if somebody took that short, I don't like taking those trades, but dude, the sweep of those internal highs never went back. So we had this internal high set right there. We sweep that internal high, and we just took a really big move down. To the 618s. Yeah, it's this trend line is starting to break, isn't it? No, it's not. I'm just curious to see, like, look at this trend line. Some people also trade the like people that don't take profits until like the trend line starts to break, but that's all like hindsight. That's all very simple to understand when see this trend line's kind of holding still. Oh, the fib level? I don't know, I never used, I tried Fibonacci, but I know some people do it as like a, as like an entry point or an area of interest. I don't know, I just always feel like I have my levels and I just stick to it. I feel like if I start introducing other things, it's gonna get to, like the more things I feel like you introduce into your trading, then you have too many confluences, too many like things that, too many things start to kind of go against each other, I feel like. Contradict, that's what I'm looking for. So like one indicator or whatever starts to contradict another indicator. But yeah, I know some people who use it, the fib retracement. I try to go off big levels. I try to look at the chart and see where big areas of interest are and just go off that. It's very simple. I took a long. Oh, you took a long off it. The entire move up yesterday, we are seeing a reaction off the 618 fib level. Oh, so it, I see what you mean. So it did, so it kind of paired with that fib level then too, where oh, hold on, you took a long recently, or you took a long where when I got long around that area? The thing about it is you want to have you kind of want, I don't know, you kind of want price to confirm, in my eyes, that it wants to go long, right? Like, instead of just trading off a certain level, I feel like when that level comes, right, and kind of wait for price to kind of show you that buyers are stepping in and trying to, like, push it back up. I know it's easier said than done, but like, for example, something like this, right? If somebody was looking for maybe a long right here, like I personally would not try to get long until we get a breakout, right? Until until structure starts to change, right? So if price comes back up, starts breaking this 584 level, if it starts breaking it and then closes heavy above it, and then you can get a reaction, a bounce back off as support to go back up. See how that's like, it shows you that it's confirming, giving you confirmations it wants to change its structure, it wants to start moving back up. But as of now, all it's doing is just rejecting. See, it pushed up, it rejected off this old support, turned into new resistance, and pushed down. Now, if it breaks out of this should turn into support for an entry, maybe long for someone. But yeah, it's not bad willing to try things as long as you have your stop in place and your risk. But never keep holding a trade just because I traded off the Jerome Powell speech yesterday and made 1,500. That's crazy. That's be careful. Don't eventually you keep doing that, like you can make good money, but you can also lose a crap ton of money. I've went on tilt like that before. I used to trade Jerome Powell, and like there were days where I was just like, oh my gosh, dude, I made so much freaking money. And then there were other times where I was just like on tilt and blew accounts because I just like, you take a trade, it doesn't go your way. You take another trade, it doesn't go your way. It starts slipping. Your stop loss slips a couple times, and you look at your P&L, and it's like you're down $3,000. You blown up an account. It can get really ugly really fast. But yeah, if you have if you traded according to your strategy and you made money, it's a dub all day. But it is dangerous, so. This freaking little something bit me. Oh, it's the one downside of having a shop. Like, is I get like in the afternoons I get mosquitoes that come into my office because I keep walking in and out of my office, and I have the bay door open, and you get all these mosquitoes. I have to find the spider. Where's that spider? Dude, that thing was huge. It probably left. I actually should keep it in here. Dude, I would flip out. If that spider crawls up my leg, I would seriously flip out. Still dropping. Are we gonna go for those lows? Dude, if we go for those lows... Oh, shoot, it's 11:11. I have to get off soon. Shoot. I'm gonna get off in a couple minutes. We could be going for those lows. I didn't even mark out that level because I was like, dude, it's not gonna... I highly doubt it's gonna get there. But for me, like, if I was trying to take a long, my next level of interest would be down here. Just my opinion. Very interesting level to potentially go long off of, right? And you can see why. We have a massive reaction off this area right here. So if we do pull back and we sweep it and you get an entry long for a scalp up, definitely an interesting level. But it's still got a long ways to that level. Obviously, I'm not going to get that entry because I'm not even going to be on the chart. But still showing signs. It just keeps dumping. I literally caught the perfect long. There is no other better long you could have caught. I literally got in, boom, and then ever since, we just been getting, and the perfect TP. Oh man! All right. Oh, I gotta go to the DMV today. Oh crap! Oh, I forgot. The great fun place, the DMV, the most fun place of all time. Freaking mosquito. Got socked. Alright, I'm gonna give it couple more minutes. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna get the zap. I usually don't have too much in here because I close the door right away. But you know what works for mosquitoes? I gotta try it. I saw the videos of the skin so soft. Especially in Florida, it gets really bad in Florida after it rains. So when we get what's it called? When we get like a thunderstorm that comes in the afternoon, and after the thunderstorm, that's when the mosquitoes like to come out because it's really like humid and damp after it. It's when it gets pretty bad. But yeah, that skin's so soft. Supposedly it works good, and it doesn't smell like the repellent or whatever. The repellents stink, but this apparently it works good and it doesn't stink. I gotta try it. I keep trying to remember to buy some, and I never remember. I always forget. Southeast Missouri, there's terrible. Yeah, anywhere in the South, we really like. It could get pretty bad, especially if you're by like a a pond or something like that. It could get very bad. Those little blood suckers. And we have red ants. I don't know where you guys are from. We have red ants here. Red ants are bad too. I remember when I was a kid, my cousin used to come from California. I was like in middle school. My cousin came from California. They don't have red ants in California. and I dared my cousin to stick his foot in a ant pile, in a red ant pile, and he ended up doing it. Holy, it was bad. It was bad. Looking back, it was kind of stupid it was kind of stupid, but you know, kids, you do stupid stuff and you don't think about it. Dude, his whole ant was bitten up so bad. It started to kind of swell up too. But it went away, but dang, dude. I did not think it was going to be that bad. I honestly didn't even think he was going to do it, really. Like, who agrees to stick their foot into an ant pile? He stuck it. Not only did he stick his foot in that ant pile, he held it there. He didn't just stick it in and take it out. He stuck it in, and he stood there because he didn't expect to start getting bit up. I didn't tell him it was a red ant pile. He stuck his foot in, he held it there, and then, like, a couple seconds later, he just starts freaking running to the hose. And then he had a bunch of welts on his... a bunch of welts on his leg. So when an ant bites you, I don't know what... I guess it injects some kind of something in you, where it leaves, like, a pimple-type welt on your leg. And his whole leg was covered in them. Oh, man. Good times. Dude, this trend line is just refuses to break. I know some people, that's how they, like, if they have an entry and a trend line starts forming, they don't get out of the trade until the trend line breaks. So, like, somebody could hold this theoretically and just keep riding the wave down. I fell asleep outside when I was little and got absolutely destroyed by mosquitoes. It was bad. Dang. Yeah, because you're sleeping, you don't really feel it until you wake up. See, in California, I don't know how it is in Missouri. In California, we have those big like, we have them here and there, but, like, here in Florida, we have little mosquitoes. We have these, like, tiny ones. And in California, we have massive mosquitoes. They're, like, big. Here, we mainly have these, like, little tiny ones that are just annoying. They still bite just as bad as a big mosquito, but they're just not as... They're harder to see. I think we're gonna go for those lows, man. Oh, you guys got the big ones? Yep, I think we're going for those lows. Oh, the small ones. I honestly prefer the bigger ones because you can kill them. You can kill them a lot easier. The tiny ones are hard to see. I smack them. I swat them. They fall to the ground, and you just step on them. Or you catch one and just rip its wings out. Catch a mosquito, rip its wings out, and then leave it there. The little bastards. It's annoying when you're trying to work. That's the annoying part. When I'm sitting there, like, afternoon, I'm trying to work on, like, a car, and I'm taking something apart. Those little suckers just come, they freaking fly in your face, and they land on you and start. And then when it starts itching, you can't stop itching it. I just saw an article recently. Where was it? Crap, I forgot where it was, but I think maybe it's Hawaii. I think they're dumping a bunch of mosquitoes in Hawaii. Let me see. Dumping. Is it Hawaii? Yeah, so, yeah, it was Hawaii 6 days ago. So in Hawaii, drones are being used to drop what, lab-reared, non-biting male mosquitoes to combat the spread of avian malaria and avian pox, which have decimated the native bird population. These mosquitoes carry a bacteria that makes them unable to reproduce with wild females, effectively reducing overall mosquito population. Oh, wow. What the heck? So they release a bunch of male mosquitoes to reduce the female, because I think the female mosquitoes are the only ones that bite. Male mosquitoes don't bite. It's the female ones that bite. It's kind of funny. So I guess they a bunch of males so that to reduce the female population. Can you imagine sitting under there? They're like release. You're like walking through the woods. You see a drone fly over you. You see the underside of the drone open up, and you just see like thousands of mosquitoes come out of the drone. That's wild. They're like the worst part about living in humid climates, yeah. And the gnats too. Not only do we have mosquitoes, we have gnats. Gnats aren't as bad. Gnats are annoying, but they don't bite. So they're just, the gnats are the one, they're like fly in your eyes, they'll fly in your ears. Yeah, but that's the downside of living in the South. But honestly, it's so cool. Like yesterday, this is why I love Florida. Yesterday afternoon, like I want to say like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, we had this thunderstorm come through. I'm not lying, it looked like a freaking hurricane. It looked like a tornado was coming through. Wind was freaking pounding. It was probably like 30-mile-an-hour winds. Tree branches falling, like it was messy. Like overcast, completely dark, pouring down rain. About 30 minutes later, the sun comes out, and it's like amazing. Like sun comes out, everything is just like wet, beautiful, sun is shining after like a thunderstorm like that. That's the best part about living in Florida or the South, is you get the thunderstorms, and then like 30 minutes later, the sun comes out and it's perfect. And then you have these like amazing sunsets because of that. Like I went to the beach yesterday after the thunderstorm. I love going to the beach after a thunderstorm because you get like after the thunderstorm, and then you have the sunset, and I'm not even exaggerating, you get like orange and like pink, and it looks super cool. Yeah, the sunsets are the best after a thunderstorm, for sure. So all right, well, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be hopping off here. I have to go home. I have to eat, and then I have to go to the tax collector, which freaking sucks. But so I have to go home and eat. But yeah, all right. Well, I'll be back tomorrow, 9:30. So stop by if you're around. And yeah, that's that. It was a good day. Caught the one trade and calling it a day. We'll come back tomorrow and see what happens tomorrow. But y'all have a good day. Don't overtrade. Don't take any dumb trades. Be patient. If you have profits, preserve your profits. Maybe a good time to walk away. But yeah, so peace out. We'll see you tomorrow.